You are listening to Be in Demand, and I am your host, Laurie-Ann Mirabito. Are you a coach, a consultant, or a service provider? Well, you are in the right place because this podcast is all about how to leverage speaking opportunities as your best form of marketing, get positioned as the expert, and monetize your message. This is a speaker breakthrough session where somebody just like you from the audience has raised their hand to say, I would like a live coaching call. So if you would like to book your own speaker breakthrough session, stick around to the end and I will tell you how you can do that. Julia, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Well, I say show, but basically a one-on-one coaching session that you just raised your hand for that I've never met you. So thank you for wanting to put yourself out there in a very particular way, which I call it's very focused visibility. So, Julia, could you tell me what you do and who you help?
So, 3 years ago, I had a very traumatic experience, and my son passed away unexpectedly of a heart attack. And so, even before that, I was a very resilient person. And I realized we're not going to get out of this life without trauma. So I really like helping others break through their trauma and thrive again.
Okay, I am so sorry to hear about your son. Um, as somebody who comes from cardiology, that was my life before this. How old was your son?
34.
Much, much too young to die from a heart attack. So before that, you were very resilient. Okay, is there a particular population that you want to focus on to help?
So, my main focus would be parents, mamas, that immediate core family. Um, I also, look at people who are in that space of helping others. So, police departments, fire departments, that kind of thing, to where we have trauma people in place that'll come to you when the trauma happens. But they're there 2 or 3 days. You really don't get to know them and they're gone. And
Hmm.
so I want to be that person that come there and I get to know you before the trauma happened. So you're ready, and you're ready. Not that you're not going to have a down few days or down month or even a down year, but when you bounce back, you will bounce back quicker, better, and faster.
Okay. So here's where I get a little confused with everything that you've just said. You want to help people with trauma, but you want to get to know people before the trauma happens.
Right. So I want to be there, like when a trauma happens, especially for those first responders. They
Mhm.
have my business card ahead of time.
Mm.
They know who to call to be there for them.
Okay.
So I
So,
kind of want both. But I mean, as far as speaking, it's more of the ones that have already gone through it.
okay. So since we are focusing on speaking, let's focus on that.
Perfect.
Where would you, so first off, because I come from healthcare, I happen to know that there is a gazillion associations for healthcare.
Mhm.
There is an association for every department, in a hospital. Every division of healthcare has an association, and each of those associations has chapters in every single state. You literally could start with a particular focus on an association. It could be nursing. And so here's why I'm also picking nursing is because in May is National Nursing Month.
Okay.
So you need to be reaching out to those hospitals and you essentially could say to them, I know May is National Nursing Month, and I would like you find out when all the different months are. I happen to work, in ultrasound and radiology under cardiology. So, there's a radiology month, there's a ultrasound week, you know, but so it's like that for everything that's in healthcare. So I would find a calendar
Okay.
so that you could start reaching out. So, how many hospitals are near you?
I'm sorry.
How many hospitals are near you?
Within 5 miles, there's 1, 2, 3.
Fantastic. Now, let's go further than that.
Oh, so within 30 miles, there's probably 40.
Wow. Okay. That's fantastic. You have 40 places that you could reach out to. And if you start reaching out now, you probably could get several of those hospitals to bring you in. And I'm just saying nurses in May, but where else do nurses work? Yeah. I'm
Doctor's
thinking
offices, I mean, all of it.
doctor's offices is going to be a little hard because, they're going to bring you in. There may only be 2 nurses that are in there. There may be a lot of aides. I'm thinking nursing homes, hospice homes, houses. Well, around here, like we have a hospice house, but there's a lot of organizations that are like home health and care, like with hospice included in them. And so you could go to their main office. You could be calling them. And I'm sure if you've got 40 hospitals around you, you have got to have a lot of home health care, nursing, hospice that are around you that you would, so you could literally just focus on nursing.
Okay.
Now, that's just one example. Is there a particular type of first responder that your heart just goes out to? You're just like, these are my people.
Firefighters.
Chiropractors.
No,
Oh,
firefighters.
firefighters. Thank you. I have chiropractors on the mind because I just made an appointment. Okay, firefighters. Do you have any firefighters in your family?
No, but I was one in early 90 or late
Oh,
1999, 2000.
wonderful. Okay. So you probably, the lingo and the systems. It would be great for you if this is what I would do. I would contact the place that you worked. Try to figure out like how to word this. It's been a long time since I was there, and I want you to almost do market research. What do they have that's new? Like, do they have some sort of a program that helps their firefighters with trauma? Because maybe that was missing when you were there, or maybe that was something that was there. Maybe it was sporadic or something. But I would do some market research.
Yep.
And especially since you already have an in someplace.
Right.
And then while you're there, like towards the end of your conversation with them, I would let them know, like, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing X, Y, and Z. As a thank you, I would love to come in and do a workshop. And in exchange for that workshop, you could do some videotaping, record yourself. So now you're going to build up some of your speaker assets. And then also get testimonials, not just from the person who brought you in, but from the people who attend your workshop. And I'm calling it a workshop, but it actually it could be a speech. It could be a presentation. It could be, something that is hands-on with some exercises. How does that sound?
It sounds good, but not great.
Ooh, why doesn't it sound great?
It doesn't sound great because my true desire is that mamas who have lost.
Okay, let's go back to the mamas then. Where are they hanging out? Where could you find a group of moms who have experienced a trauma?
A lot of them are honestly scrolling the internet because they're just staying at home. They're staying within themselves and not getting out there and not fighting to bounce back.
Okay. Is it a particular trauma that they are experiencing?
Loss of a child.
Loss of a child, like yourself. Okay. Then in that case, I would recommend you get onto the right podcasts to start getting your message out there. And part of the reason why I love podcasting and, like we met in a podcasting group is that it's evergreen content that is going to be out there. And that those guest episodes you can put on your website.
Okay.
Again, building up your speaker asset.
Perfect.
How else can you get in front of them?
So a lot of there's grief counseling groups everywhere.
Mhm.
There's a lot of churches actually have the grief counseling that's going on that I could take and give to their counselors or whoever's meeting with them so that they could give a brochure out or say, call this person if you want, somebody who personally understands what you're going through.
Mm. Would you consider doing a talk for one of these groups?
Absolutely.
Okay, I would start with that,
Okay.
versus you trying to, what it sounds like, network with the people who could refer you.
Right.
I want you to speak in front of more people at one time.
Okay.
And if you can speak to, a group of women or moms, parents who are going through what you went through, even better than trying to than instead of networking.
Right.
Okay.
I
Do you
mean,
have a
I'd love to find an association of moms who have lost. I mean,
Well, I have a book over there in my bookcase, which is out of print now, but I am going to write down a note to look that up for you.
okay.
There are 225,000 associations here in the United States, all different ones. And each of those associations has chapters, if not more than one chapter in each state. So we're looking for an association of parents or moms who lost a child. I will look that up for you because I'll look that up for you and see if there is anything
Okay.
and make sure that I share that with you. The book unfortunately is out of print. Otherwise I would I know.
What a bummer.
It is. But if you saw the book, I mean, it's probably 4 inches thick, a Bible type paper. It's the super thin paper and it's divided into states and industries. It's very extensive. And every library used to have a copy of it each year. And then the libraries would sell them off. And so I would tell people, like, if you can find an older copy, it doesn't matter how old it is. Some of the key information in there is still the same.
Right. They still have that association. May not be the same president or same, but others. Yeah.
Yeah, like their URL is the same. Their chances are their mailing address has not changed. How many chapters they have, that might change a little bit, but that's information that you can find on their website. But to be able to have that sort of a resource. But so I will definitely look that up for you.
Thank you.
Because if you could get in front of them. Now, this brings me to, I have two other questions. One is, do you have a website?
I do and don't. When I say that, as I have one through, you can see that I have the Maxwell Leadership. I have one through Maxwell Leadership that is mainly geared towards speaking.
Mhm.
And I have my own like QR code link tree that has my speaking information. As far as my own website, that is one of my goals for 2025.
Okay, so I really want you to have a website because
Okay.
I want you to claim your speaker title. And here's what I speak about. How much speaking do you do for Maxwell?
Ask me that in about 3 or 4 days, and it's going to change. But right now, um, I am going to be introducing the president of Maxwell Leadership in March. And so I'm doing more and more all the time.
Mhm.
It's been a journey. I've been with them for 9 years. And so it's that going back every single time and making sure you're there and in front of the right people to um, gain those acquaintances that then
Yeah.
become friends.
Yes, and you're building your network. You're building relationships with meeting planners, with people who can book you. Great,
So that's
man.
how much I do for Maxwell. I
Yeah.
have my own and I do my own speaking probably 10 times a year.
Okay. So you're speaking about 10 times a year. On what? Are you speaking on leadership or are you speaking on
Oh,
the trauma?
so it kind of changes. Um, I do prison ministry. And so I speak in the prison probably about 3 times a year. I do some leadership development training inside of businesses to where I go in and I speak to maybe the leadership team. And we do anything from uh, helping the teams work better together,
Mhm.
collaboration,
Mhm.
to communication.
Okay. How many of these have you done? How many companies have you gone into and done leadership training or corporate engagement?
Probably 4 or 5.
4 or 5. Okay. Speaking
And
easily.
some of those are like a quarterly thing. So
Okay.
it's more than that because it's four
Okay.
times a year.
Okay. But you've got 4 to 5 different companies that you've spoken for
Yes.
that you have relationships with.
Yes.
Okay. Here's your assignment.
Okay.
You need to contact those 4 to 5 places and let them know that you also do this trauma.
Okay.
Here's what I'm seeing what you're doing. It's like you're doing a little bit of leadership here, you're doing a little bit of trauma over here, but my heart is over here in the mamas. You're trying to climb too many mountains at once and you can't.
Okay.
I want you to pick a mountain, climb that mountain, get known in that mountain. And mountain is an analogy for an industry, for an audience.
Mhm.
Pick them. But I would definitely, like if, since it is the mamas in trauma who have lost a child, I would definitely talk to these companies because I'm sure that they have people who have gone through a trauma or they know somebody who's gone through a trauma. I'm talking about like employees who know somebody. And it's like how can they help that person? What can they be doing?
Right.
And again, so this is building your name and this is a way for you to climb that mountain while using another relationship.
Okay.
Does that sound better?
Yes.
You answered that quicker than the other question that I asked you. Okay. Yeah, you have had your attention and your energy in too many places.
Right.
Yeah.
I am putting together currently a program in school
Mhm.
that's called the Resilient Mindset.
Mhm.
And it's basically going to be, where we come together and we just talk as mamas or
Mhm.
as parents or even as those who have lost.
Yeah.
Because I know the things that helped me bounce back quicker, better, and faster. And at the point that my kids look at me and they're like, how did you do it? If they're not even as far along as I am. And
Yeah.
I'm the mama, right? So I put it out there and they're like, and I'm like, it worked for me.
How long ago was this that your son passed?
It was 3 years ago, December 21st.
Wow. Right next to those big holidays.
Yeah. His funeral was actually on the 26th of December.
Oh, fun. I say it with my Boston sarcasm.
I will tell you that we were extremely blessed that year for some reason. Well, now I know why. We actually celebrated Christmas on December 17th. And so it was almost like it all happened after Christmas for me.
Yeah.
And so going up to Christmas, I don't have those traumas other than on the 21st, to even deal with. And this year we actually celebrated Christmas on the 21st. And, it, my mom was kind of like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" I went, "Absolutely. Why not?"
Good for you.
Because he would want us to continue with life.
Yeah.
And, I'm a person of faith, but I still believe that he was with us and he was right there. And I took his favorite dessert
Very nice.
because he would want us all to celebrate with him in his favorite dessert. So, it's a little thing that my mom and my daughters didn't even know that I took that dessert, but I did,
Yeah.
and so those are the things that we got to do to keep going forward.
Yeah. Yeah. I lost my first husband when I was 36. And very similar. I did some things very intuitively. I had never really experienced a death in my family. So I didn't have like this is what you're supposed to do.
Mhm.
And also coming from the coaching world, I did approach it a little bit differently. So you, I know, have so much work to do, and you like the world needs you. Juliet, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And if you would like to have your own speaker breakthrough, stay tuned. I will share with you how you can do that. Are you tired of hearing crickets on social media? Wondering where to get seen by the right people? Or frustrated with the growth of your business? Then the speaker breakthrough session is just for you. During this free 20-minute discovery call, I'll help you recognize where you're leaving money and opportunity on the table. You'll walk away with tips and a strategy to leverage speaking opportunities to get positioned as the expert, visible to the right people, and monetize your expertise. Book your call at speakandstandout.com/SBS for Speaker Breakthrough Session.